Hello everyone. Today I will show you how you can speak more than 33 languages with the Google Cloud Platform.
皆さん、こんにちは。Google クラウドプラットフォームで33を超える言語を話す方法を紹介し
大家好，我将向您展示如何使用 Google Cloud 平台说超过33种。
Hallo allerseits, heute werde ich Ihnen zeigen, wie Sie mit der Google Cloud-Plattform mehr als 33 Sprachen sprechen können.
Let's get started. So I've already created a project on the Google Cloud Platform called Translate Demo, and I've already created an account, a service account, which I can use to connect to the APIs. So you need to follow the instructions to do the same. Next thing I need to do is to I'm going to create a Docker container, and this Docker container is going to have a Python version 3. It will also have ffmpeg, which is an utility that's used quite often for video edition via the command line. And that's it. That's all I need. So I'm just going to create a Docker compose. So the version I'm using is 3.7. I'm going to also create a specific Docker file so I can install the things I need. I'll set up a volume so it's easy to share the source code with the container. And I have to define an entry point because I don't want to run any specific service. I just want the container to run indefinitely for the time being. So now I create a Docker file. So I'm using an existing Docker container which already has ffmpeg installed. The reason I'm doing this is because installing ffmpeg is quite a complicated process because you need to build from source and you also need to specify lots of parameters. So I've picked a Docker image which already has everything I need. Then I need to do some install some libraries. In this case I need to install Python. Pip, which is used to install packages in Python. Also need that, and then I also need to upgrade pip because by default it's out of date. Okay. Also I need to make sure that I have the right language in my terminal. This is needed so that Python is able to print known ASCII characters. And I'm adding this variable to the bashrc file, which gets loaded whenever you log into the container. Okay, and I'm going to create a file with all the libraries I need. So that I can later compile it. Directory Python. So in this directory, I'm going to just have a text file with all the dependencies I'm going to need. For now, I'll leave requirements.txt empty until I know exactly what dependencies I need to import. So I have now all the components I need to start to build and start the container. So I'm ready to try and build the Docker container. For that, I will use docker compose build. This is finished the build. I'm going to try and start the container now. I'm going to go inside the container. So this is the video that I was from our introduction. Hello everyone. Today I will show you how you can speak more than 33 languages with the Google Cloud Platform. I need to go to the storage section and create a bucket which is going to be used. So now I need to go to the Google storage section and create a bucket. This bucket is going to be used by the script so that it can send the audio file for transcription. Let's call it video translation. I didn't specify anything custom for this bucket, so I just created it. Going back to the script. Well, there's no script yet, so let's create one. So I'm going to define a method to extract the audio from the video file. And I'm going to use ffmpeg. So I'm just replacing the extension because I'm going to create an MP3 file. So I'm replacing the existing extension, which should be MP4 with MP3. So I need to import these two libraries. So I'm going to try this one first to see if it works. So the file is introduction original before so let's see what happens when we run the script. So ffmpeg did its conversion. So let's see if we have any files here. Yes, there's a new file. Let's take a look. Hello everyone. Today I will show you how you can speak more than 33 languages. I will show you with how you can cloud platform. Seems like it worked well. Didn't realize I already played the video, but it's all done. So let's go back to the code and review what's the next steps. So I already managed to create an MP3 file. So I need to now send this MP3 file to the Google Cloud Platform. So I'm going to define another method called upload blog. Give it a bucket name. So now I need to initialize. So I'm just going to copy and paste some code from Google Cloud, so I don't have to basically repeat the code. It's already there, just copy and pasting. So the first thing it does, it needs to access the client. So I need to import the client. Storage. So so I have a method now to upload a file to a bucket. I can call it upload pull up. So the bucket name I created earlier was called translation video, I think. But maybe I'll double check. Video translation. Then I need to give it a source file name. It will be MP3, and then a destination file name. destination blog name. Upload blog transcript. So okay. So for some reason I misspelled it. Okay. So now if I run this, it will convert the file and then upload it to the Google Cloud Platform. I'm going to add an extra parameter here so I can repeat this over and over again. Because ffmpeg will actually prompt me to ask me if I want to overwrite or not the same file. Let's try again now. Okay, so here I see there's no model named Google, and that's because I didn't install the libraries. So I need to add some libraries to my requirements txt file. Okay, let's see if this is enough. Okay, so now let's try again. It's looking good. I think I'm missing credentials. So what you need to do is to make sure that your credentials are available. So I know where my credentials are. Not here actually, I need to copy them first. So I've copied my credentials to the folder so I can access them from here. Okay, so you need to also have your own JSON file. If I run this now, it should allow me to upload to the Google Cloud Platform. Of course, it doesn't always work that way. I think I'm having a problem with permissions. I need to change this. And this time it worked. So if I look at the bucket itself, it has a new file here. This is the MP3 file that is going to be transcribed using speech to text API, which is the next step now. So I've managed to upload the file. So I'm going back to my code I'm going to create another method to translate. So the same thing I've done for uploading to the Google Cloud, I'm just going to use some code that is already there, that you can find in the documentation, very similar to what I have. Okay. Speech to text. Audio, what name? So need to import. It's easy to copy and paste. So one more. I need I need to update my requirements again. So speech to text. I need to specify a bucket name, which is this one. I need to specify the file name or the blob name. That's it. Let's see. Should return here. Okay, let's try and run this. I did it on purpose because we need to also import again the requirements. Oops. So now it's going to convert to MP3. It's going to upload MP3 to the bucket, and then from that bucket it will actually transcribe to text. So which is what is done here. So we have now the text version in English, which will allow me to use, so I can use this text and translate it to any language I want now. But I need to call another API, unfortunately. So the next API to call is the Google Translation API, which allows me to translate my sentence to any language I want. So same thing again, I'm going to use some block of code that was already, that you can find in the documentation. So speak is the text that I want. Sorry, I'm actually getting ahead of myself. So translate text, then a language. So the language is the language that I want to translate to. I'm assuming everything is in English for now. So, copy and paste from documentation. another library I need to import. Let me put this outside, this is a bit neater. So now to call this, you just have to call translation result. I already have a print here, so I don't need to repeat myself. So let's see. Okay, another library I need to add to the requirements. So the next one is Google Translate. Same. I need to so the library is installed now, and now I should be able to translate this into, I don't know which language I specified, I forgot. Oh yeah, I didn't specify the language. So translate, so the text I want to translate, and then the language. I'm going to translate this to Chinese. So I'm missing another library, I think. Line 88. 65. What's going on? Maybe I need to have this here. Don't know. Okay, so now I've managed to translate this to Chinese, and I can, if I pick another language, for instance French, it will also do that for me. Right. So this is good. So I have done the translation now, and I can actually use the next API, the text-to-speech API, which is the coolest one. So the Google text-to-speech API actually uses a more sophisticated voice. It's called they call it WaveNet. So the voices are more natural than what you normally hear, less robotic. So I'm going to use the API. By the way, I have already enabled all these APIs I'm using in the Google Cloud. If you don't enable them, then you're going to get an error message saying you can't use that API until you enable it. So you have to be you have to enable that. Right. So last but not least, text to speech. So speak is what I'm going to, it's the text I'm going to say. Then I need to specify a language code, a file path for my output, and a speed. So I'm going to play with the speed, so to get better results. but for now I'll default the speed to 1. So same thing, in the documentation you'll find an extract of the code they can just copy and paste as a starting point. So another library I need to add to requirements, so which is the text to speech. So I've added that library. You can see that it takes the text here. You can specify a language code. I can specify the gender of the speaker. Bear in mind that not all the languages have a male speaker. For example, Thai seems to only have a female speaker for the time being. But if you specify male, it will always try to use the male voice if it's available. And it does try to use the WaveNet version of the voice if it has it. Not all the languages have it yet. And you can specify, yeah, as I mentioned, the speed is currently 1.0, but you can make it slower or faster. And I'm going to play with this value to try and fit in my video clips so it doesn't, you know, so you have, it's not going to do lip syncing, but it's going to be, yeah, my idea is to try and make sure that when I stop talking in the video, then the sound also stops. But it's not going to be 100%, as you've seen in the introduction. And that's it. Like, it's going to write the file into the file system with actual spoken version in, for example, in French or whatever language you selected. Yeah, so this is an MP3 as well. So let's try and call it now. So text to speech. So language code. Okay, I'm going to, for now, I'm going to hard code this. Then, I need to put first the text. Translated version is going to be the property. Output file path. And then speed. What's the file path? Okay, so introduction original.mp3. So I'm going to add the language code here, and then speed for now 1.0. Text to speech, and let's see what happens. I think it's going to fail because I didn't import the library yet. Okay. Let's just add the missing library. And now I have a video, an MP3 with French. Let's see how it sounds.
Bonjour à tous, aujourd'hui Esperluette Croisillon 39, puis je vais vous montrer comment vous pouvez parler plus de 33 langues avec la plateforme Google Cloud.
Okay, so it's in French, not too bad. just to play around with the values. I can change it to female and do the same thing again. Let's see.
Bonjour à tous, aujourd'hui Esperluette Croisillon 39. Oui, je vais vous montrer comment vous pouvez parler plus de 33 langues avec la plateforme Google Cloud.
Okay, so not too bad. So now I need to put the MP3, join the MP3 to the video. Let's do that. So we have to go back to ffmpeg, which allows you to do crazy stuff, really. So I'm just going to create another method. Merge video with audio. Okay, so I'm going to give it a video file path, an audio file path, a file path output, start time. So the start time will be for me to just like add an offset if I need to. So rather than starting the sound straight away, I might want to wait 1 or 2 seconds, so I synchronize the voice with basically my lips. Just make it a little bit better, but it's not going to be amazing. So I need to call ffmpeg. I have the command line parameters I need to call already prepared. So the new extra bit I add here is an offset. I specify the audio file path, the video file path, and these parameters are to do with copying the audio. And this is the final version of the file. And that's it. -y is to make sure that it doesn't ask me for, it doesn't make any questions. And I need to call it, of course. So video file path is the original video, this one. Then the audio file path is this one that was created. Just I'm going to use and then what else? I need to have a start time. For now, I'm just going to leave it at 0. Okay, just trying to make sure you can see. I think it's not wasting a lot of space. Okay, so now you can just give it a go. So I'm missing one argument. So let's see which one is it. So first one I've passed in. The second one I've also provided. Then the third one I missed. So the output will be is an MP4 file. That's it. There's so many parameters, I'm hard coding everything, but at the end I'm going to try and parameterize everything just to make it easier for me to generate different languages without changing all the parameters. It's always good to start basic, don't complicate too much with too much parameterization until you know what's going on. So let's have a look at my...
Bonjour à tous aujourd'hui, espère lui être...
Wait 1 second. So I can see now my video.
Bonjour à tous aujourd'hui, espère lui être Croisillon 39. Oui, je vais vous montrer comment vous pouvez parler plus de 33 langues avec la plateforme Google Cloud.
Okay, you can see that I only started talking at 2 seconds after the video starts. The actual API, I call it at first, gives me a timestamp of when the text, when the actual text starts. However, I'm just going to eyeball it for now. You know, this is just a demo at the end of the day, but if you really wanted to make this more accurate, you would try to match the sound with the actual video. But then maybe it's going to make it more impractical to try and get a solution that works for everything. So I'm just going to add a delay. So I've added the delay here. Now I'm going to call this again.
Bonjour à tous aujourd'hui, espère lui être...
Can wait until. Okay, let's start. I think there's something wrong with it. Let's try again. So I can run this now.
Bonjour à tous aujourd'hui, espère lui être Croisillon 39. Oui, je vais vous montrer comment vous pouvez parler plus de 33 langues avec la plateforme Google Cloud.
My French teacher would be proud. Okay, so now I have something that kind of works. I'm going to make this a little bit smarter. So I'm going to parameterize everything. Okay, so I've parameterized everything that I need. So I have original video, this is a file name of the video that I want to modify. Then I have the language parameter and I have the speed. So in this case I have Arabic, so let's give it a go and try out the code with the parameters. So it's doing everything again. So let's see me speaking Arabic. Okay.
مرحبا بالجميع. اليوم سأوضح لك كيف يمكنك التحدث بأكثر من 33 لغة مع منصة جوجل كلاود.
Okay, that's it, done. So I have this method. You can, it's going to be on GitHub. You can play to your heart's content with the different possibilities of, translate your videos into whatever language you want with this code. It's not going to be perfect, but it gives you an idea of the capabilities of all these APIs that you can use, which is, to myself, to be honest, is kind of mind-blowing. All right, thank you very much, and if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to watch more videos like this.